Welcome to the Target Center for State Class 4A boys basketball on CCX Sports as Park Center back for a third straight season. The champion of Section 5, the number 2 seed for this year's tournament. They'll be taking on the Section 3 champion, the Eagan Wildcats, back at state for the first time in 19 years. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox. Greg Miller will be joining me for the call of today's game as these teams get set to battle it out here. And obviously Eagan, not quite the same level of record as Park Center has, but they're very battle tested out of the South Suburban Conference. They played a lot of good teams. They've won some of them, they've lost some of them, but I don't think anybody has any doubt that they are a team that belongs in this kind of tournament. They have played some good basketball down the stretch, including beating Eastview for a third time in their Section 3 championship matchup. Park Center, very strong season again with just the 3 losses, 2 of them to Totino Grace, the number 1 seed in Class 3A. And despite some injuries this year, the Pirates have managed to maintain things at a pretty consistent level. Now, Park Center getting here was not that easy. They got a pretty supreme test in their section championship game against Maple Grove as they trailed down the stretch late in that game by 4 points, but were able to get some key stops toward the end of the game and able to come out with a W. And the coach for the Wildcats, Kevin McKenzie, was saying we do play somewhat of a similar style to Maple Grove, so he knows a lot about Park Center. He knows how good they are, but he says we've seen a couple teams late, Moundsview and Maple Grove, in section play that have given them tests, so we're hoping we could do the same type of thing today. Here's a look at what's happened so far. Just a great game finished up right before this one as Cretin-Derham Hall edged Farmington in the 4-5 game. Wayzata built a lead and then kind of held off Rogers down the stretch in the first game of the day. And then in this game will be followed up by Minnetonka and Coon Rapids as we wrap up our quarterfinal round game. There's a look at James Ware, the Park Center head coach, and we'll talk about key players to look at in today's game. Obviously, we got quite a few good ones on both of these teams, but starting with the Wildcats and Max Buslee, their top scorer, a 6'2" senior, one of 3 guys who averages in double figures, a little under 15 per game. Good shooter. He's also going to have to, be a guy that will handle the ball with some efficiency today against a Park Center team that really likes to get out and pressure the ball and create turnovers and get going the other way. And Eagan obviously knows that. They want to make sure that they're not coughing the ball up and giving Park Center fast break opportunities. And for the Pirates, they really helped them get it done down the stretch in that section final. Chavis, super good defensive player, very good offensive player in terms of getting his own offense, but also setting up others. I mean, he's a guy that can just get to the bucket or get to the lane pretty much when he wants to down the stretch. And I was thinking it the other day, I mean, even if he didn't take any shots, he would still be a very effective and good basketball player, but he's also a very good scorer. Mr. Basketball finalist, first team All-Metro pick, and headed to the University of Washington. Well, we'll see who comes out on top on this one. As some first-round jitters for a lot of teams, I think, at the state tournament. Both of these teams trying to overcome that here today and advance into that semifinal round. It's Eagan and Park Center boys basketball in the 4A tournament on CCX, coming their way next.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
And welcome back to the Target Center as we get set for battle here in this Eagan versus Park Center third quarterfinal of the Class 4A tournament for 2024. We move over to Williams Arena for the semis and finals, by the way, as it's been the last couple of years. Pretty senior-dominated starting lineups for both of these teams as Coach McKenzie for Eagan starts a lineup that looks like this. Buslee, Burke, Schrepfer is the sophomore in their lineup, Liam Madigan and Trevor Searing. And for Park Center and James Ware, Aiden Memone, Ari Gooch, Cash Chavis, Jackson Folks back into the lineup after coming off the bench in that section final and performing pretty well, and Chang Ring, who is still battling an ankle injury as well. And Greg Miller, will be interesting to see this matchup here. You know, on paper, Park Center's had a stronger year overall, but you look at the schedule that Eagan has played, and you know they're going to be ready for any good opponent they see here.
Definitely. They're not going to be intimidated because of who they played against. You know, they're in the South Suburban, played Lakeville North a couple times. Shakopee is a really good team a couple times, and other really good teams.
Farmington, who we just saw here too.
Yeah. And Park Center, you know, the big thing for them is just going to be how healthy they are, I think, and how their guys can come off injury and play. We know they're a good team and they expected to be here, but their section final game was a great game against Maple Grove, so they've been tested as well.
Folks playing without the sleeve on his knee that he had in the section final either, and the opening tip controlled there by Burke, and we are underway. Schrepfer being defended by Chavis. Chavis playing without the mask that he wore in that section final. I thought he handled it pretty well. It didn't seem to bother him all that much, but I'm sure nobody really likes wearing that and electing to go without it.
Real patient offense here.
Into the post, Searing will kick it back out. Buslee picks up the dribble against Gooch, spinning it up there. Kind of forced that one. Now Chavis throwing ahead to Gooch. Layup is good. Ooh, Gooch fell hard.
He's a great athlete, can really jump. Good hands on that one, and a great pass up the floor by Chavis. That's what Park Center wants to do. They want to get out and run and get this tempo going. Eagan, as you can see by the first possession, they want to be a slow tempo.
I think Park Center wants to use the bigger court, too, to be able to really get out and run and maybe beat them up court sometimes, like we saw Gooch do there.
Definitely an advantage to the faster team.
Searing rebounding this one, electing not to go back up with it against Ring, and then Buslee, an air ball.
Buslee, their leading scorer. He's taking a couple tough shots already.
Gooch a miss, Memone a miss, but he was fouled. I think this will be Searing picking up the personal here for the Wildcats. See if they'll call that a two-shot foul. It is. It was kind of in the act of rebounding and shooting all at once, so Memone will go to the line.
I think the big thing for Park Center is just no disrespect to Eagan, but they're playing against themselves, right? They're trying to play as well as they can and just play the right way. So, you know, they are definitely huge favorites in this game. The way we have our state tournament set up, that's just kind of how it works with seeding, and sometimes teams come out of a section it's not as good. Eagan was 7th place in their league, but they made it to state tournament. It's always exciting. Anything can happen in one game.
Ring might have gotten a piece of that one after Madigan went to the hoop. Chavis drops it back over to Gooch, spinning one up, but that one got away from him a bit.
Chang is noticeably limping right now. He tried to block that shot and he came down and he had a big limp running down the court.
High pick and roll here. Yeah, he's just going to have to try and grit it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to have to go to the bench more than usual at that spot, and that one is nowhere near for Burke. Wildcats cold.
It just takes a while for your ankle to loosen up, but when he has to change directions like he did right now, it's difficult for him.
Boy, you're right. He is really not running well. Schrepfer trying to attack against Chavis, and he'll kick it back out for Searing, and that one was off.
Eagan's gone into the post 3 times with the idea of kicking it back out.
Chavis lobbing it for Ring, and then ball dropped onto Searing while he was laying on the end line. In a regular season, that might have been a dunk. Yeah, that's what
Definitely.
Chavis was aiming for. This is that one where Ring went for the block. And you see he came up hobbling. He already wasn't moving all that well. It'll be interesting to see how much time he's going to be able to play today. Looking to shoot it from deep here, no good. Gooch had it knocked away on the rebound. So not a great start for Park Center either. With Eagan, you told her yet, obviously 4-0 lead here for Park Center.
Yeah, Eagan wants to make this game as kind of boring as possible and keep the tempo slow.
And there's a pull-up jumper. It's a 2 as Madigan knocks that one down for the Wildcats here on the board, 4-2.
And Park Center, on the other hand, they want to get their crowd into the game. They want to get running and dunking and get out on the fast break. Eagan's a real good defensive team from what the coaches in the South Suburban told me.
Down low, Ring finding Gooch for the layup.
As they say that, they let their man open for a wide open layup. It happened last game too. Little full court pressure here, man to man by Park Center. It's kind of token pressure. Run the Princeton offense right now called Chin.
Schrepfer goes back left with it, and then he'll swing it across. Burt shooting it up, and he nails a 3. We were told Eagan shoots the ball pretty well. It didn't look like it early, but once they get going, not unusual to see that here at the Target Center or in the state tournament in general.
Shoot, he's made 81 3-pointers this season. That's a lot. And Buslee's made 88, so they can shoot.
There's Memone with a runner. Good touch on that one. I always found that to be a really difficult shot to make.
Yeah,
but
high degree of difficulty. But some of these guys nowadays, they practice it a lot.
Chavis got a piece of that one on the way up, but Wildcats get it to the front court. Here's Schrepfer, a little pull-up, and that one is good. And now they feel like they've gotten their rhythm going a little bit.
Yeah, and they run the Princeton offense, a lot of high post action. That can be tough to guard, especially for aggressive teams.
Memone, the drive and dish. Gooch will shoot it up from the baseline. That's good for 3. Both teams now finding their stroke a little bit.
And that's huge for Park Center. If they make threes, then they're really dangerous. They don't always make them consistently.
Or as I was told by at least one opposing coach this year, if they're making threes, we have no chance.
That's true of some teams, but probably not after this round if they get through it.
Pass back across there. Madigan able to retrieve it. Under 10 to go on the shot clock. Ring got a piece of that one. Now they'll throw it ahead. Had a little trouble with the handle. Knocked away and taken away by Searing. And again, Ring
just couldn't get his balance.
Yeah, not to make excuses for him, but he's clearly hobbled out there. Coach, oh boy, Gooch got away with one there.
Just the obvious fall right in front of him.
A hard slap on the arm, but it'll be Eagan basketball as they'll be making some changes now both sides. Xavier Felix, 22 in. Temi Amodiimbo in for Park Center. We'll get the Wildcat subs after the timeout. 11-7 lead here for Park Center. James Ware. It never gets old to get to the state tournament, but I think for coaches, you just get a little more comfortable each time, and I can just sense he's a little more relaxed than the first time he came here with his team.
I never was able to experience getting comfortable here, but I know there are some programs that get that way. Wayzata is that way right now. Park Center under Coach Ware is probably getting that way. I definitely agree. Like, you know the routine. Everything's so new the first time, and then the second time even you make a big jump in that, knowing what to expect, how to just do all the logistics for the state tournament as well, so you're not so stressed. But then for the players, a lot of them, it's their first time playing. They didn't get to play last year, some of the juniors and stuff, so it's exciting. But again, like I said early, the way we have it set up, it's good we have seeding, because they could be playing in the old days, no seeding. They could be playing Wayzata the first round. But then you also get some of these games that have lopsided scores we've been seeing historically if a section is down a little bit. I mean, this section Eagan's from, they've had state champions. They've had Apple Valley a couple times, and they had Eastview, who's really good. And they have a respectable record, 17-12. They just play in a real tough league.
So look at Coach Ware now, 9th season, and he was saying that we haven't been able to really put the lineup out there that we wanted to prior to that section final because of injuries.
Man, I can't believe it's his 9th season already. It seems like he just started there, but he's done a great job. He's a great coach.
Owen Ford, 23, is in, and 42, Owen Backenstedt, who had it for Eagan briefly there. Now Buslee, who they've been able to contain him early so far.
Park Center's getting up now. They're trying to pressure. They're just letting them run their offense before. I don't think Coach Ware liked that. Definite pickup in intensity.
Shot clock, of course, didn't reset there, and there's a nice pull-up by Madigan as he's able to knock down his second hoop, and the Wildcats to within 2.
He's a nice player, too.
Chavis on the runner, no good. Buslee the rebound.
Like you said, those runners are not a high percentage shot for most people. That's a tough shot.
And a drive to the hoop, no good, but Madigan will go to the free throw line.
I'm really impressed with Madigan. It's not easy to bring the ball up against Chavis. We've seen him take the ball from many players, and he just used his strong body there and straight line drive all the way to the rim and drew a foul.
31, Liam Madigan at the line, shooting 2.
Madigan, first free throws coming here for the Wildcats as they try and tie it up here, down by 2 after a slow start offensively. Really for both teams, more so for Eagan, but they've certainly gotten it going on several of these last possessions. And in for Eagan, Leo Erickson, a sophomore, number 40. They figured to go 8 deep, but both teams kind of, that was the general feeling coming in. Obviously, you know, you can have more depending on foul situation or if any injury or just game situations, but that was their general plan.
That's typical at this time of year. There's only a few teams that can play more than that. Like Wayzata seemed like they played 9, but Park Center will go as low as 6 or 7 sometime in crunch time.
Chavis saw an opening and his eyes lit up, and he was fouled by Bockenstedt, excuse me, on the drive there. They kind of lost track of him on the way in, and then the late contest, he got into his body.
I think he's going to throw that one down. Egan's got nice size, like overall, you know, that bunch of guys that look like they're about 6'3" to 6'6", long arm guys.
Chavis short with the free throw. Second one is good, so Park Center takes the lead back at 12-11, and they'll come again with a little more man-to-man pressure. Instead at the high post, and Chavis read that one and picked it off.
Good read. He sagged off the high post guy. A little Princeton read there.
Memone had it blocked, but then Amodiembo follows up to score his first bucket.
I think Amodiembo is going to have to play a lot in this game with Chang being injured. I mean, when you're injured, you're just not as effective.
Pirates leading it by 3.
Amodiembo really talking on defense. He's bringing the energy. That's going to help Park Center. They need to get this thing going a little bit. Eagan very patient, as we knew they would be.
Madigan kicked it to the corner, and on the baseline there, as Ford seemed a little unsure of himself. He passed up a shot, and then he was a little off balance when he started that drive. I thought it might either be a travel or out of bounds.
Madigan wanted him to shoot it. He made a nice play for him. He's like, shoot the ball. I really like Madigan as a player. He looks like a nice, strong point guard who can handle the ball, and he's big.
Schrepfer will come back in here. Gooch return for Park Center. Little under 11 to go here in this first half, and Park Center leading at 14-11. Ring back in. Goes to the hoop, but missed it inside and rebounded by Bockenstedt. Buslee shoveling it over, no good, but a foul as Bockenstedt got tripped as he was just about to go up with that shot.
Eagan definitely executes our offense very well.
Frelix picks up that foul. That's his second. They only have 2 as a team, but they both happen to be on Frelix. It's kind of wrong place, wrong time there a little bit.
Been noticing a lot of missed free throws. This is my 3rd game today. Seems like the background maybe is difficult here at the Target Center when you're shooting free throws.
There's Kevin McKenzie, 5th year as Egan's head coach. He's been at Roseville and also at SPA.
Yeah, he's a lifer. He's been a head coach for a long time now.
And a couple of missed free throws, so we stay at 14-11.
Little zone action here, 2-3 for Eagan.
Cross to Memone. You got Gooch kind of playing in the middle of that zone, trying to flash in there.
Challenge is going to be rebounding for Eagan once they do get a shot up.
Chavis will take the three, and he hits.
That's big when Chavis can hit threes. Got a little set shot there.
And it's going to be Schrepfer stepping inbounds there. I thought it was going to be a kick on Gooch, which it would have been ultimately, but he had already kind of lost his balance and stepped in.
Yeah,
and
just
Park Center gets it.
Sometimes pressure, just being there, they're going to give it to you. And if you just get back on D, you won't get that kind of turnover.
That's really an unforced one, though. I mean, you got to have your feet set when you're starting to pass the ball in.
True.
Gooch lets it rip, and he hits a three.
If Park Center can shoot like that, they're going to be really tough in this tournament. That was nice.
Gooch, 4 buckets already in this game, 10 points.
That's a really pretty jumper, man. He got up high and just great release.
So Park Center stretches the lead to 9 now at 20-11. Michael McKenzie, 13 in their handling for the Wildcats, and now Schrepfer, under 10 on the shot clock. To the corner, and that one is good for 3 there. Knocked down by Burke.
Burke's got a nice stroke, and he's tall enough to get it off.
Gooch, going to be a blocking call or a hold anyway. It was going to be a close one as he ran out of room to do much there. I thought he had 3 options there. There's Gooch letting that one go.
A lot of times when you come off those screens like that, you just let it fly and you have confidence. You know the coach set up the play for you. There's Burke. He's hit 2 of them now.
Ford picked up that foul. Chavis looking to attack in the middle, had it knocked away, but a foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
You got the helper there, Ford, I think, which will be 2 in a row on him.
Yeah, Ford came from behind him. Chavis didn't see him. He thought he got all ball, but he must have got his arm.
Folks coming back into the lineup here for Park Center. Chavis will get a little breather.
They scored in their last baseline out of bounds. See what they do here.
Memone from the top here. Not too often that they play without Chavis for any length of time, so it looks a little different getting into their sets. Memone cutting to the middle, lost it as he tried to cut back across the defender. Ford in traffic, no good, but he was fouled. He was kind of 1 against 2 there, and it was, I don't think he was all that sure what he wanted to do there either, but he just kind of waited until somebody fouled him, more or less.
You know, having Chavis on the bench, I think you got to think long-term in this tournament, too, because you got to win 3 games in 4 days, and you got to play back-to-back days. So, you know, you just can't play every minute of every game, I don't think.
Ford free throw, no good. And of course, in this quarterfinal round, we don't have TV timeouts either, so you don't get that little extra added break in.
I really love that too, though. It's the rhythm of the games in these quarterfinals is so much better than when you do have the TV timeouts. But you're right, they don't get as much rest. The other thing I've noticed this game on the first 2 games of the day, there's been mass subs every timeout, or not every timeout, but every break in the play. Here they're subbing like 1 guy at a time.
Folks short on that 3. Nice job rebounding it by Backenstedt. Wildcats down 6. A little over 8 to go in this first half. That's going to be a travel on Ford. He kind of caught that one on an in-between step there. And I think a lot of times that probably wouldn't be called a travel, but a tendency in the state tournament to get that kind of thing called a little tighter.
Yeah, the referees are really being watched. They want to get to the next round, and they get evaluated very strictly on following exactly the letter of the law, you know. So I agree with you that they do call technical things they might not call.
Ring and Chavis back in for PC. Here's Chavis, had that one blocked. Nice work by Burke. Chavis, a couple of crossovers and pass tip. Did they get it out? Here's Gooch. He's been confident today. That one no good. Chavis put back no good. That was a tough one. He was spinning. He might have been better off catching and going back up.
Burke's got nice size down there. Got a block shot and got a really nice rebound up above everybody. And he's made a couple threes. He's a good player.
Burke in the corner. Folk stayed with him. Back out for Backenstedt. That one won't fall. Gooch rising up for the rebound. Gooch, a one-man fast break, but it's blocked by Backenstedt.
I mean, Gooch is a real good athlete. Really pushed that ball hard, and I thought he was going to make a layup for sure. And out of nowhere came Backenstedt for the block.
And this will be a 10-second call against the Wildcats. And again, that's a new thing with the shot clock, that they're going strictly by that, and it got under 25 down to 24. There's a look at that great block. Did a good job staying on the ball without fouling there, too.
Yeah, it didn't seem like 10 seconds to me, but...
I said that in the game earlier this year. It feels faster. I don't think that one probably would have been a 10 count just with a guy counting, but once they see it on the clock, I guess they're obligated to go with that.
Because when you think about it, that guy doing, or the person doing the shot clock can just instantly press that buzzer before the count, so maybe it's like a second shorter. That's a good point.
Both teams have gone a little bit cold of late here. We're still at 20-14, and Ring still has enough to get up and dunk that one despite the ankle problem. 8-point game. Dish underneath. Burke hesitated, didn't go up with it. Buslee has been silent so far. Searing from the top of the key, wouldn't go, and Chavis boards it.
Egan's getting a decent shot every time down. They're just not making them all, but they're making good decisions.
Chavis will count it, and a foul as he just gathered to go up. I think Coach McKenzie saying, well, okay, a foul, but how about that being on the floor? There's a look at Ring dunking that last one.
Great body control there by Chavis, and you don't see a lot of players like Chavis, you know, in the metro area. I mean, he's one of the elite athletes, great finisher.
And he's able to complete the three-point play. Park Center now up 11. Buslee had a look, faked Ring, and then drove it. That'll be a reach-in foul as they knocked it away, but Gooch is going to be called for a little tap on the arm as he tried to swat that one out of there.
And Buslee's game has been taken away offensively. I mean, he's being unselfish, but he's got to be a little more aggressive, I think. Get a little bit intimidated when he's getting in the paint. I think he's going to get a shot block.
Second foul on Gooch, so Motoyinbo will check back in for the Pirates. A little bit bigger lineup with him in there in that spot. Fade away, and it bounces and drops from Madigan. He caught it a lot closer to the hoop than he ended up shooting it from, which at first I thought was a mistake, but he ends up getting it to go. There's Memone turning the corner and laying it in.
Park Center can do that to you. You know, have a high difficult shot on one end, and they just come right down and get it up so quickly and get a layup. Got to get back on defense and get back in help side too. Here, Eagan.
Step back here by Burke, and he rings it up for three.
Speaking of high level of difficulty shot, it's an excellent shot. I think he's got 3 3-pointers, if I'm not mistaken. He's playing a real good game, as is Madigan. I really like Madigan's game.
27-19 Park Center. Been kind of interesting that as they lob this one into Ring, he's surrounded. The team's lulls have kind of matched each other. We've had when one gets going offensively, then the other one does. Memone tripped up. Eagan bench wasn't quite so sure on that one, but we'll get the foul called against Buslee here.
We had a similar score to this in the Wayzata game earlier, and this is the kind of the breaking point where you're going to get this closer, Eagan, to end the half and make it a 4 or 5 point game, or is there going to be separation for Park Center? And that's what Park Center really wants to get at this point. And they want to get it through high tempo if they can, get on a run.
Chavis ducking in, scoop shot wouldn't go. Folks able to save it though.
Good job getting the extra possession here by Folk.
Pitches it into Ring. Traveled.
He's really struggling.
They've done a good job surrounding him too. They're not just playing him one-on-one. They're sending defenders from various spots, kind of making him guess a little bit of where it's going to come from.
And I hate to keep harping on it, but when you got all those guys surrounding you and you're trying to pivot and you got a bad ankle, you know, you're worried about stepping on them, and it just feels uncomfortable. Hopefully he'll get over that as the game moves on.
Trepfer picks up the dribble, but gets it ahead to Buslee. He stopped way out high there. Buslee this time will attack, and he gets the layup to go. I think Ring actually touched that ball on the way up, but he still got it to go.
That's the kind of shot that can get a guy going who's scoring 18 points a game. So we'll see what happens the rest of the half for Buslee.
Wildcats to within 6 on that driving layup.
And he's probably has Chavis guard him a lot too, which makes it difficult to score.
Folks will go back to Ring, and a blocking foul on Searing coming over.
Yeah, Searing kind of put his arms down by his stomach or his chest instead of putting them straight up in the air. I think he might have got the call if he would have went straight up.
Hockenstedt will check in.
They're
Searing
fronting.
will come out.
Sorry, they're fronting Ring and they're lob passing to him and hoping that the help is there or gets there. I'd like to see maybe a 3/4 kind of thing and double once he gets it. Make him shoot over you.
Ring's free throw good, as he now has 3 points. Park Center up by 7. Missed that one. Folks grabs the rebound though, and now Chavis will shoot a long 3. That one's no good. And rebound secured by Madigan.
Second time Folks has got an extra possession for his teammates.
Burke taking the handoff here as Chavis switches on to him. Pirates trying to up the pressure a little bit out high. Madigan will shoot it. It's short. Ring tipping it over to Memone.
Great defense by Park Center in that possession.
Here's Folks attacking. Reverse layup is good and one.
Park Center had great discipline in that last possession. They run that Princeton offense and they get that ball moving and look to back cut you, and they didn't give it up. And they come down the other end, another and one.
Madigan will pick it up. Not a very good angle taken on that pass ahead by Buslee, I didn't think. He looked like he was in position to maybe at least get a piece of the ball, but instead he tried to undercut it and it went right over his head to Folks, and then his teammate picks up the foul, Madigan.
He gambled on that one and should have just played position.
So Park Center stretching the lead back to 9, and Folks will be at the free throw line after we resume.
They are taking advantage of this long court, like you said. They're doing the baseball pass. They've done it like 3 times now, and they're really running. I think the long court is giving them advantage.
See Park Center's tournament appearances, and a lot of them of late here. Obviously, they've made the last 3 now. They were champs in 2022, runner-up, losing an OT last year. And it was, you know, they've always had a relatively hard road. You think back to those teams in the 80s, they were in with region with North. That made it difficult, and obviously they've been in with teams that have been good like Osseo and Champlain Park along the way too. So it's not terribly easy to make the state tournament for either of these programs through their histories.
Section 5 has always been a difficult section. Coach Ware, he's been here 9 years already, and it took a while for them to get to that point where they could, win the section. But now they're not only winning section, they're getting the state championships. I'm sure they would love a shot at Wayzata again.
I was talking to the guys about that in practice the other day, and they said they said all the right things. We can't afford to look ahead and everything, but you no doubt about it that they would like to play Wayzata again. So Folks trying to complete a three-point play with a timeout in between, and he does so. Gets the roll there. The lead is 10.
Now the road is not going to be that easy to get there either. If they can win this game, most likely they're going to play Minnetonka, who's a really good team from the Lake Conference. So that's going to be a tough game for them.
And there's a turnover on the Wildcats. Nice hands, Greg.
Thank you.
Yeah, Minnetonka played Park Center earlier this year. Pirates did win, but only by 3. And we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Eagan is very much in this game right now. 10-point game. Down low to Ring and knocked away just as he was about to catch and gather that one. Got a hand in there, so Park Center will have a baseline inbounds.
This reminds me a lot of the Wayzata game where the one team wants to control the pace, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. But at the same time, Park Center is playing well. They're just not playing at the pace that they want yet. That seems to happen as the game evolves, right? And people get tired, and then they'll go on a run usually. But Eagan's really patient on offense.
Folks will be called for the foul, and that often happens too at the state tournament, where the opponents are usually good enough that they're not just going to be turning the ball over left and right, like maybe sometimes you might see in the regular season against PC. Tough shot on the drive there as Madigan was in traffic. Memone back out to Folks. Amodiimbo will leave it for Chavis. Ring kicking it back out. Park Center will get reset here. 15 to go on the shot clock. They lead it by 10. Now under 5, and Chavis will take that long 3 and he knocks it down. Sometimes when you're late in the clock, you just nothing else to do but put it up, and he looked confident doing it. He got that set shot from way out high.
They're giving him the shot from way that deep. Bacchus had just backed off him. Made him pay. .13-point lead. Pull-up jumper, and nicely done there by Schrepfer, the sophomore, his second field goal. Good looking sophomore. He got size and a real nice pull-up jumper there.
He did a good job of keeping enough spacing that Ring couldn't get to that one too. Here's the lob down low. Ring lays it in. Again, he's far from 100%, but he recognized it there. That maybe in a regular season might have been a dunk, but just going to go up with it, make sure he converted.
Yeah, and he's still effective. That's all that matters.
Ring knocked that one away, but it goes right to Buslee, and then Burke from the corner, another 3. His 4th of the half, trying to keep the Wildcats in this one. They are down by 10.
He's got a beautiful stroke. Gets in that corner. That's where he's hit a couple of them. If I were Park Center, I would not be providing help off of him in the second half.
Chavis will walk it into the front court here. Looks like they may want to, well, they can't quite play for the last shot entirely, but they're going to hold it.
A 3-second differential. We saw this happen in Osseo Maple Grove game, right? Same thing, about a 3-second differential. He's close to getting it over and back there. He tried to get ahead of steam going.
Chavis, the crossover now stepping in, and he
traveled. First they didn't call it. That's in one of those zones, I think, where the refs don't know who's got the call, and they all saw travel, but they want the person who's supposed to call it to call it.
6 seconds left. Eagan down 10, trying to get a good look late. And they'll take a half quarter, maybe a little sooner than needed there, but we reach halftime of this one. Top seed Park Center leading Eagan by 10, 36-26. Pirates at the half. We'll have first half highlights and stats, and then our second half of basketball here. It's the State 4A tournament on CCX quarterfinal round game. Welcome back here to the Target Center, and thanks for joining us for 4A boys basketball in this first round. Of course, Channel 45 will have the games in the semifinal and championship round. Park Center leading Eagan 36-26 as we take a look at some highlights from the opening half of play. Both teams started a little slow, certainly, as you often see in these state games. As we said, Park Center getting out and running early as Gooch able to get a layup. They'd like to do more of that, being able to throw the ball ahead. And Burke certainly had a strong first half for the Wildcats, showing his ability to knock down threes. Gooch hitting a couple of threes of his own as well. And Memone, that one blocked, but it went right to Modiimbo, and he got his only bucket there. Chavis hitting a couple of long threes where they kind of just said, okay, we'll give you that one. One of them late in the clock. Burke, this time from the other side, burying that. He had 4 threes in the half. Great block there by Backenstedt. Ring able to catch, and despite clearly being hobbled, he got up for that one. And there's a great throw ahead, and then Folks finishing with the spin off the glass. Little English there, and here's that second three by Chavis. Late in the clock there. And Burke had another three in him too, as Buslee found him drifting to the corner. And you see Burke with those 4 threes, 12 points leading the way. Madigan had a good start. He had 8 points for Eagan to lead them. Gooch and Chavis with 10 apiece for the Pirates. And Memone had a couple of buckets and a couple of free throws as we look at the shooting percentages and whatnot here as well. Both teams hitting at 50%, so that part's impressive. Both have made 4 3-pointers as well. Eagan really struggling at the free throw line, and Park Center's had the better of things on the board so far in the first half as well. Well, there was some to like, I think, for both teams. Park Center, you're not dissatisfied to be up 10, but they would like the tempo a little higher. Eagan has done a lot of what they need to do, but they'd like to close the gap a little bit more here early in the second half. We'll be back in a moment with our second half of basketball. Park Center 36 and Eagan 26.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
We've played one half of basketball here at the Target Center in our third class 4A quarterfinal, and Park Center leading at 36-26 as we get set for the second half of play. couple guys with 2 fouls for Park Center, Gooch and Frelix, and Ford and Searing a couple fouls for the Wildcats. But overall, not a real foul-filled first half, which is, I think, to everybody's liking.
Yeah, and I think Park Center, they got to be happy with that first half. Only 4 turnovers. You know, they're playing against a patient team and they're not gambling. I think they'll increase their pressure a little bit more, and they're dominating the boards. I think they got to be happy with how the first half has gone, even though they only have a 10-point lead. You can't just get they're expected to win this by 20 or more probably, and they haven't really been able to. You just don't do that overnight. Like, it takes some time. And Eagan, on the other hand, I like how they're playing with poise and really moving the ball. Patient offensively, run that Princeton offense that can be tough to guard.
Yeah, it's a process. I mean, you're not always going to look phenomenal in every game, too. And Park Center, I thought, played pretty well overall. I mean, like you said, sure, they'd love to get the tempo going and get some dunks and all that. Gooch missing badly on that 3 to begin the second half.
They were efficient on threes in the first half, 4 for 9. And that's something, if they went cold on threes, that might give Eagan a chance to get back in this game. Well, they're in the game. It's a 10-point game. I'm not saying they're not, but they're trying to crank up the pressure a little bit now.
Buslee has looked a little tentative here today. He just had the 1 bucket. He'll step back and shoot it here, and that one's way short, too. A lot of times you don't get that much of a warm-up for the second half, and both guys that came out and shot the ball from the outside were not particularly on target.
And Buslee, that's a thing, that happened in the first game with Rogers. They couldn't get their leading score going. Eagan really needs that.
To the corner, Buslee shooting a 3, no good. That'll be a foul on the rebound against Eagan's Madigan on a little push-off.
Well, they ran a set play on the baseline there to get Buslee a wide open 3, and he was wide open. Just had difficulty making it. Madigan didn't think he pushed off on that. Coach McKenzie doesn't either. Sometimes guys know how to make it look like you get pushed too, even if you don't.
Ooh, and that one thrown into Buslee. It almost hit him in the face as he was looking the other way. Burke throwing it back out, and we'll get a foul call on the pass-off as Searing tried to kick it over to Buslee. And they'll get Memone on the foul.
Park Center foul number 2, Aiden Memone, his first team foul of the second half on the Pirates.
Chavis did a good job closing out on Burke. They found out he could really shoot it in that first half. Schrepfer is fouled as he was driving around a pick. Let's see if this will be Chavis picking it up. It is, as he tried to step over that pick.
Park Center's switching a lot of things, so Chavis ends up on different players.
And let's see, this, they're going to be out of bounds off Eagan. I think it went off them ultimately anyway, but.
A sideline out of bounds can be difficult if a team really wants to deny. You have to set a screen and roll back to the ball, and they didn't do that. They're just kind of trying to get open on their own, and that can be tough against Park Center.
Yeah, they didn't have great angles for the pass to be made either. Chavis off the glass, no good. Tough shot going left and then shooting it right. Searing. Nice job gathering himself and going up off the window over Gooch.
Park Center wasn't really hustling back on defense on that one. I was watching every guy. They're just kind of a 3/4 speed jog down there, and they're not used to Eagan trying to get a fast break layup, but they did.
8-point game. Foltz driving it, but had it picked away by Buslee, and then a double dribble though.
That's a tough call right there.
Buslee, something about it didn't look right though, as he was starting to.
He called it a dribble when he stole it.
Right.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think Buslee felt that way too, that it should have or could have been considered part of gathering the ball. Chavis, little runner. Oh, he's so good at that. 12 now for Cash Chavis.
It's a big turn of events right there. It was 6 with Eagan having the ball to cut it to 3 or 4, and now it's an 8-point lead.
10-point lead, yeah.
10-point lead, yeah.
The drive and the layup is good by Madigan.
Madigan and Gooch got a little words after that. I don't know, maybe they know each other from AAU or something. It looked like kind of smiling too.
Chavis pull up wouldn't go. Burke tips the rebound over, and Shrupford.
Park Center's got to be careful here. I think if you don't come out with energy, Eagan's making this a game right now.
Shrupford no good, but it's a foul. And he will go to the free throw line here.
Eagan had 7 turnovers in that first half, but that's not that bad against Park Center. Right? Park Center can make you have 12 turnovers and a half if they're really getting up on you. I think Eagan's real methodical how they handle the ball, but they got kind of big body guys. They protect the ball with their bodies, and they haven't really turned it over on the dribble much.
Generally pretty good spacing too, which helps that, because sometimes you run into a trap or a double team if you're not spaced out correctly.
And they do a lot of handoffs to kind of get the ball reversed, so they're not making passes where Park Center can really deny.
Gets the second one to go, but they have not shot the ball well from the line here today. So 7-point lead for Park Center.
A little 3-man weave action into a set here. Other zone.
Memone giving it to Chavis, and he's fouled on the way up.
Smart offense there. Get the ball to Chavis in the middle of the zone. He's a tough guy to guard in there.
Yeah, really showing his versatility. I mean, not that many times when you say, let's put our point guard in that spot against the zone, but that's one of their best options, is him attacking inside like that.
And he's a good decision maker in there too, and he can go right hand, left hand, floaters, dunks, and make his free throws.
Backenstead will come in. That was the 3rd foul on Searing. First guy on either team to have 3. And Chavis makes a pair. Park Center leads at 40-31.
Bringing the pressure here. 2-2-1. Nice pass deep there.
Little up and under move. Nice job by Backenstead.
Yeah, he looks like he's about 6'8". I mean, that was a nice move.
Gooch answering with a reverse layup. Boy, the ball was in the hoop in a hurry. That's what Park Center, again, would like to do a little more of.
Gooch is great at that. Just doesn't pout if the ball goes in. He just runs the court, and his teammates find him. Park Center trying to deny the passing lanes a lot more this possession. They're trying to get to the high post when that happens.
And a turnaround jumper, good for 3 there for Backenstead. Probably not the first guy in their arsenal normally offensively, but he's played a good game here, and the Wildcats have closed to within 6.
He shot that with confidence. And I heard the coaches calling to get it to the high post against that pressure. Smart play.
Gooch had it slip out of his hands on the way up.
I think he's going to try to challenge and dunk on that one, and he can do that. He's very athletic.
Buslee taking the handoff, drives across the middle, got a little screen. That was a tough one. He was fading left. Folks giving it to Memone. The up and under, no good. Ring had the rebound, but then Shrepfer able to rip it away.
Eagan's gaining confidence as this game's going. Park Center, they're definitely in a dogfight now.
Buslee keeps the dribble going, no good. Chavis had it knocked away, and there's a turnover.
And Buslee's really struggling to score. Sometimes those leading scorer guys feel a lot of pressure in these games. His teammates are sure playing well.
Gooch knocked it away, but the Wildcats get it back. Shrepfer open for a 3, and he buries it. And here comes Eagan. Wow, they have closed the gap to 3.
And he shot that like he meant it. Total confidence.
Timeout, Park Center. Eagan fans erupting here. They have done a solid job to begin this second half and trailed by 10 at halftime, now to within 3.
It's a cliche, but it's true. The first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half can oftentimes determine how the half's going to go. And if it goes the other direction, then it's a 16-point lead right now, but it didn't. And the more Eagan feels like they're in the game, more pressure on Park Center, and the more confident Eagan gets.
See, Eagan making their 5th appearance in the state tournament. They were runner-up in 1998.
Been a long time since they've been here.
They are definitely playing with a lot of confidence right now.
And like I said earlier, they played a very tough schedule, so they've seen teams like Park Center that are just as talented as them, and they haven't beat them, but it only takes one game, and they're definitely not afraid.
Omodiimbo in, Ring back out. He was really hobbling when he tried to close out on that shooter Trepfer there on that 3. Frelix. Now Omodiimbo working to back down.
Charge.
And that'll be an offensive foul. Yeah, it was a pretty good job positionally there by Owen Ford. I think sometimes when you make it a little too obvious what you're going to do, there's a tendency to not give you that call as much too. And he spun in, kind of spun with his elbow out a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that elbow was part of a clinching decision on that call.
Hockenstead flipped it up left-handed. That one was off target. Gooch, a runner, no good. He was fouled. Didn't have a lot of room down the baseline there, but Burke kind of helped him out there with that body foul, and Ari Gooch will go to the free throw line here.
He's had a good game so far, and they're going to need him. He's going to need to continue to play well for them to win this game. Folks has kind of been a non-factor offensively too. I know he's coming off injury. And he's usually a good scorer, and especially three-point shooting. One thing about this time of the year too, you've seen so much tape on both teams. You can get every video that they've played all season pretty much, and you can really get a good scouting report and know what you need to do to defend guys.
Gooch gets 1 out of 2, so Park Center's lead is 4.
Can they handle Park Center's pressure?
Going to be another 10-second violation.
Again, it seems very quick. I don't know if that's because of the shot clock base or what, but they got to go off the count of the referee, not the shot clock.
Chavis will inbound here for Park Center. Sees an opening and attacks and scores.
I think Coach Ware was just telling them to attack when they're over in the sideline.
They want to crank up some pressure too after that make.
Yeah, they got to play with a lot more enthusiasm and energy. And I know Coach Ware wants them to. He's starting to play defense on the sidelines right now too.
Gooch knocked it away, but recovered there by Ford. Gooch trying for the steal there. Then they get it inside. Bockenstead all the way for the layup.
And Park Center is just going all or nothing there, just trying to really pressure the ball, but they didn't have weak side help. And gambled a little bit and gave up a layup.
Chavis, drive and dish. Frelix from the wing, buries it.
Huge shot. Park Center really needed that. Great play by Chavis too to see the court and get that diagonal pass. They're going to get another 10-second turnover.
And it's thrown away. This is what Park Center has been asking for. Let's crank it up a little bit, make things uncomfortable for them.
It's been kind of an emotionless game for Park Center, and they really want their crowd to get into it, and they want to get into it. Sometimes when you're this good for this many years in a row, it's just like blasé to be here at the state tournament, and you got to play hard. These teams are good in the state tournament. I'm not saying they're not playing hard, but you know what I mean? The energy, enthusiasm that Park Center can bring, like I saw in that section final game at the end of the game when they really pressured Maple Grove's guards. They need to do that for the rest of the half here. They could find themselves losing this game.
Chavis cut off, goes up and under, no good. And knocked away. It'll be Eagan basketball. I thought Morienbo might have gotten away with a foul there, but it'll be Wildcats ball.
I think Eagan has a much better chance of breaking the pressure when Madigan's in the game too, although he's running away from the ball right now.
And a slip. We have a timeout called by Eagan as Ford went down to the court. Park Center wanted to travel. Eagan probably wanted to foul, and that's just kind of how it is in those type of plays, but instead they'll get the timeout granted to the Wildcats.
And Park Center is, trying to turn it on right now, and there's 10 minutes left in the game, so it's good they're doing it now. That's something Coach Ware would, in retrospect, look back and say, we need to do that from the beginning. And if they do manage to make the semifinals, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that because the team you're playing is really good. But when you're playing a team like Eagan, finish 7th place in their league, and you're like, we can come in here and just beat Park Center and we're going to win, I think. It's not that way. You got to play with energy, especially the way Park Center plays, because they don't really rely on their half-court offense a lot. They rely on fast breaks and steals and ball pressure. And their defense is their best offense. It has been all season. I think Egan's got to get the ball to Madigan and let him bring the ball up. But sometimes whoever Chavis is guarding, you want the other person to bring it up too, and I think that's what they're doing. But give Frelix credit. He was really getting up and defending. He's been a difference. Coming here, hit a 3, came off the bench, and he's playing D.
And he'll be called for the foul here, though. That'll be his 3rd.
That's tough now that he's got 3. He can't really get up there and body up like that. He can still play good D, but...
Searing back in there with 3 fouls of his own. Madigan to Buslee. He'll shoot that 3, no good, and a nice rebound by Chavis up in traffic.
That's one of the best looks Buslee's had. He was wide open. I thought he was going to make that one.
Frelix swings it over to Folks for a 3, no good. Nice box out there by Searing.
Really nice box on it, and it's a wide open look there for Folks, and Folks usually knocks that down.
Madigan, the drive and dish. Searing off the glass and good. He did a good job avoiding traffic there.
Great play by Madigan. He's really handling the pressure well. He's getting into the lane. He took it all the way and finished earlier in this half, and that time he made a real nice dish off.
5-point lead now for Park Center. Eagan has come to play all game, really, but in the second half especially here, closing the gap. Gooch will shoot it up in rhythm, no good. And Erickson tracks down the rebound.
I think Eagan is going to have to get something out of Buslee here to be able to actually come back and win the game. To hang in the game, everyone else has been making.
Buslee, right on cue, knocks down a 3. Only his 2nd bucket of the day, but the Wildcats are to within 2. Timeout, and again, the Eagan fans pumped up. They are very much right back on the doorstep.
A big smile by Buslee. He knows he's been struggling today, and he's been their leading scorer, and his teammates are super happy for him. And just like a relief, I think, that he finally made one, and he'll probably make some more now. NBA 3. I was talking in the earlier game today that so many kids shoot behind this NBA 3. It's like a magnet that draws them out there. That's a long shot to make, too. It's hard to shoot it from that far. Look at him smile. He's super happy that he finally made one.
Park Center had a 10-point lead at halftime, but they have struggled some in the second half of just a dozen points at this point in the half, and Eagan has closed the gap now to within 2, closest they've been in a very long time.
You know, getting a little bit cold from three-pointer too, and you know, the first half they were 4 for 9.
State tournament should be purchased online. Purchase your tickets at www.mshsl.org.
It's definitely not what Park Center expected to happen. I don't think many people expected this to happen other than Eagan. So that puts a little bit of pressure on them, but you know, they had pressure in their Maple Grove game too. Maple Grove had a 10-point lead in the second half, I believe. I was watching that game.
I don't think it got quite that big, but 6 maybe.
6, okay. But I mean, they definitely looked like they had a good chance to win that game, and then Park Center just muscled them up and got some turnovers at half court, got some big rebounds and stuff.
It is interesting too with the bigger court, though. It can help Park Center in terms of running, but I think it's harder to trap people, it feels like, on this court maybe than what you're used to in your high school gyms.
I agree.
Oh, nice dish. Chavis to Fultz. They made that look easy.
Yeah, that was a major breakdown by Eagan on defense right there to just let them drive all the way to the bucket.
Madigan driving in, missed it, but there's a follow-up by Searing. Madigan did a good job at least getting it up on the glass as he was falling.
Yeah, he drew coverage there and was able to get the rebound.
Back to a 2-point game. Frelix will shoot a long 3, no good. Rebound tipped loose and it goes right to Memone, but then taken by Schrepfer.
You're really noticing the difference with Chang not in the game right now too, because he cleans up that rebound for sure. And Egan's able to rebound now.
Schrepfer on the drive, no good. Fouled by Fultz.
I don't know if we're going to see Chang back in the game or not. I would think we probably would, but he might be too injured.
Jackson Fultz, number 13, his second, 16th foul on the Pirates. At the line, Alex Schrepfer.
Schrepfer will have an opportunity to try and tie it up, although again they haven't shot free throws particularly well here. Makes the first though, 50-49.
Well, the Pirates, number 10, Ari Booch, back in the game.
Park Center really not going very deep in their bench right now. It seems like they're kind of in a 6-man rotation. Unless they can get Chang back in.
And we are tied up. Schrepfer makes a pair, 50-50. Little under 8 to go. Park Center, the second seed, getting all they can handle from unseeded Eagan. Gooch looking to Chavis. Memone gets a high screen, but good help D.
They're packing the lane. They want him to shoot threes. They don't want to allow dribble penetration.
Chavis will launch a long one. That one's way short, but Gooch the rebound. He rushed it though.
I think he thinks he got fouled on that, but yeah, you definitely rushed it. There's an air ball on the 3 right there. They're starting to go cold from 3.
Madigan, a pull-up jumper for the lead. It spins out. Memone will give it back to Chavis here. Under 7 to go. Tie ball game. Eagan just had a shot at taking the lead. Memone up and under and then kicks it over. Gooch will launch. No good. And out off Eagan.
Gooch was hot in the first half, but he's been struggling from the 3 this half.
Bockenstead will check back in. Searing out for Eagan as Park Center will inbound here.
They scored on this play earlier.
Chavis throwing it way out. Felix will let it bounce into the backcourt to avoid any possibility of an over and back there. Chavis looking to attack.
Let him get back to his right hand.
And he is fouled. He's so good at that, being able to just keep that dribble alive and can go right, can go left, can power India.
Yeah, he's a tough guard. He just is a little shoulder shimmy as well, and he got Madigan to fall for it right there. Boom.
Couldn't quite get it to drop, but he'll be at the free throw line for 2. Burke picked up that foul.
That's the thing Park Center is going for him too. If it's a close game, it comes down to last possession. You got Cash, you can just go create something more times than not.
Good free throw shooter too, but missed that one. He has one more coming.
Yeah, Eagan's, exposing some of the weaknesses Park Center has. I mean, they don't have many. They've only lost 3 games all season, but I don't think they're a great outside shooting team, and they're forcing them to do that. And they're not. And they're a great driving team, and they're not letting them get to the lane consistently.
Timeout taken by Park Center. They go back in front on the free throw by Chavis, 51-50 Park Center.
You can find results and more from this state tournament at mshsl.org.
Well, we're not exaggerating when we say we got some pretty good basketball in the Northwest Suburbs this year. And the Mr. Basketball finalists kind of highlight that. 4 of the 5 are players from our viewing area. You got Isaac from up north in Cherry there, but then Chavis here, Freitag from Breck, McAndrew from Wayzata, and Isaiah Johnson Argo from Totino Grace. 4 of the 5 finalists, and of course those other teams also in the state tournament as well in their respective classes. Totino Grace winning today. They didn't have an easy time, but they won, and Wayzata also defeating Rogers here earlier at the Target Center. Park Center trying to do the same, but they are very much in a dogfight here with Eagan.
Yeah, Coach Ware called the timeout here, 6 minutes to go. He looks real calm over there. I think, the rah-rah stuff isn't going to do anything at this point. It's more technical things that you're going to have to do. Maybe some strategy things as well. And one of them would be trying to full court press and get some turnovers. Let's see if it's a trapping man-to-man press. They haven't really done run and jump like that yet. It looks like they're about to do that though. But no, just straight up man.
Rupper gets him into the offense here. Burke's going to let it fly. He was hot in the first half. That one wouldn't go, and Chavis tips the rebound to himself.
Madigan had position, but Chavis just jumped higher.
Nemine, the drive, no good, and Eagan Schrepfer will come up with it. See if they'll push for numbers here. Buslee not electing to launch a quick shot from the corner.
Gonna run their offense here. Try to be patient like they've been the whole game and get a good look. Getting real physical out there. Chavis is riding the ball handler real hard.
Madigan, little pick and roll, layup is good, and Eagan takes the lead as Backenstedt finishes that one.
Backenstedt's been a big difference in this half. He's made some big buckets. Made a 3, and he's made a couple right at the rim.
Eagan by a point.
You can just see the look in the eyes of the Eagan's players. They believe, they think they can get this done.
Nemine cut off at the baseline now, Chavis. He is going to drive it to the middle. And no good.
Oh, they got away with the foul.
Yeah, Backenstedt got rid of it.
Yeah, Burke hammered him on the arm there. Didn't get that call. Trying to get 10 again.
Up for her, almost throws it away.
Wow, what a save by Eagan. Park Center going all out. But that gives up lanes when you do that.
Buslee is fouled by Felix.
If you don't get the turnover, then a lot of times you're going to give up a layup or a free lane to the basket. It looked like they had a turnover. It was a miraculous save there by Madigan.
That previous possession, the pick and roll. Modiimbo just a little bit late rotating back, and Backenstedt able to finish it to give Eagan the lead for the first time in the game, I believe.
And Madigan's good on that pick and roll because he got good size for a point guard. Now he can get his arms up there and throw over the defense.
Buslee missing the free throw. Folks back in for Park Center. Gets the second one to go, and Eagan leads it by 2.
Let's see what Park Center has up their sleeve here to get a look. The back screen, ball screen action. Try to get Chavis in the lane. And Folks a three-pointer. They're trying to get the ball moving side to side.
Gooch the drive, but it wouldn't go, and rebounded by Burke.
The Eagan guys are long enough that they can make you adjust your shot and make it difficult to finish.
Schlepper fouled by Chavis.
And we've seen Chavis take the ball from many a guard. And for a sophomore to be able to take the ball up against him, use his body like that and draw a foul, that's really impressive.
One area of the game that Eagan has struggled with some is free throw shooting. A little bit better here in the second half, and obviously these, really all of them down the stretch are going to be clutch for both teams. And Schlepper misses.
And he made his last two, but he couldn't get that one to go.
Chavis looking to attack is fouled.
Yeah, Chavis in the open court like that is almost impossible to stop.
Buslee will pick it up, and you could see that's what he was hoping to, attack before they were really back and set up.
Definitely. They're definitely better in that kind of semi-transition or transition than in the half court when Eagan can set up their D. And they're really packing the paint, and they got long arm guys. They got some good length in there, Eagan.
Chavis knocks down the first. He'll try to tie it up with the second free throw here.
He's a good free throw shooter. He's made a lot of clutch free throws through his time here at Park Center as well.
And we jinxed him as the second one wouldn't drop, so it stays a 1-point lead for Eagan. Buslee looking inside with it. Backenstedt looking to go at Amodienbo. Off the window and good.
Without Chang in there, they're able to go inside and score over top.
Eagan leading by 3. Folks, a catch and shoot 3. It's short.
The momentum's really swinging. It's swinging earlier, but Eagan's feeling like they can win this thing.
Memone will pick up the foul. That'll be the 9th team foul against the Pirates, so this will still be a 1-1, but then from here on it'll be 2.
One thing we know about Park Center, though, is they scratch and claw to the end. And it doesn't matter in this game at this point. You win by 1 point, you're happy to move on and survive in advance. That's what their mindset's got to be, is just do whatever you need to do to get it done. And you got to quit falling so much, too.
Schlepper missed last time at the line. This time he knocks the first one down anyway. Wildcats by 4.
A lot of pressure on these high school kids. Big crowds watching them, trying a chance to pull the big upset. The kid made 4 out of 5 free throws so far in this half. That's good.
Eagan leading it by 5 as we hit the 3-minute mark. Park Center trying to get some offense going. Chavis looking to post up. Folks, the drive, had it blocked by Burke.
Yeah, Eagan definitely has length, and they've blocked a lot of shots or changed them.
And the floater is good by Backenstedt as Madigan set him up. Eagan now by 7. Chavis, a tough look there, no good.
And they're only getting one shot. Eagan's doing a good job cleaning up the glass. Ooh, it's a no call there. It looked like it could have been a push off.
Chavis tried to draw that one, and I thought he might have.
Yeah.
Buslee, it's not a good shot there. A step back, contested 3 fairly early in the clock.
And that's what's impressive about this game, too, is Buslee's had a tough game offensively.
Let's see, will they count this hoop or no?
I thought he said basket good.
Chavis looks like he is shaken up. Yes, they do count the hoop.
That's a good call. I think he might have got shook up a little bit. I think he's super tired too. He's been playing this whole game. People can't decide if it's a shot or not here, the referees.
They definitely signaled bucket good.
I think they need this wipe. For some reason, they don't have the people who wipe the courts. I got Jamie Sherwood, the old AD. He wiped the court in the last game, and I think he's going to wipe the court now. I think they would have thought of that and had people underneath the bucket like they do at the Timberwolves games. Jamie does it all.
So look at who's been winning titles in the recent years. Wayzata's won 2 of the last 3. Park Center in between there, and we had Hopkins in 2019.
That's the last 4 from our area.
Creighton, who won their way into the semis with a 1-point win over Farmington earlier today. Obviously Apple Valley with the Jones brothers had some great runs there. So big hoop for Chavis, and he'll try and complete the 3-point play.
And that's what we've seen time and again, as Chavis puts his team on his back and gets these guys to victory. We'll see if it's enough this game or if somebody else can come through for them.
Makes the free throw. Pirates within 4.
Can Eagan handle the pressure? That's what it's going to come down to. And the sophomore guard has been doing a great job. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Chavis with the steal and dunk.
Hey, that's not the first time that's happened. I'm surprised that hasn't happened earlier.
Just what the doctor ordered. If you're Park Center, they were within 2. As Chavis able to pick his pocket and get the dunk.
He wills his team to victory many times, and he's trying to do it again today. I think if I'm Eagan, and that sophomore's been doing a good job, but I think whoever Chavis is guarding, somebody else bring it up. That's what I would do. He's just too dangerous.
And sometimes it's easier said than done too, but I'd be looking to pass the ball rather than dribble quite as much as they've been.
Flash guys into the middle maybe. Almost treat it like it's a zone press when you got Chavis on you. Or maybe you bring a guy towards the ball, you catch it, and then you have another guy running past you. But I agree.
So the Pirates have closed the gap after things were starting to look a little scary. They've scored 5 in a row, and Eagan's still up by 2 though.
And Chavis is quick enough, he can gamble and he can kind of come from behind and get the steal even on the guy he's guarding. And if you're not careful, if you he's been turning his back to him like that, which is good, but at the same time, if it exposes the ball if Chavis gambles, which he did. And Park Center has a tendency to do this 2-3 times in a row too and get on a run. Madigan's taking it out. I'd get it in and maybe get it back to Madigan. There he flashed the guy to the ball, a couple passes.
Keep in mind they've had a couple 10-second counts. This time, get it to the front court. Burke will shoot the 3 and he hits.
Wow.
Ice water in his veins there, and it's a 5-point lead again.
They had a lead. They could have just ran out the shot clock, but they just went for it.
And Bockenstedt with the block on Chavis there.
I like it. Eagan's not playing not to lose, they're playing to win.
Schrepfer, layup, no. Bockenstedt gets it back and scores.
The size of Egan's been tough without Chang in the game. They've been able to get a lot of putbacks, alter shots around the rim.
Chavis drives and finishes again.
He's an incredible player. He's doing everything he can to keep his team in the game and win the game for his team, but Eagan has really been coming on. You sound like a coach there. You predicted or said they needed to pass the ball up against the press. That was a putback with the possession before against the press. They ended up getting a 3 in the corner.
So Chavis, one shot here. And he nails another. Pirates back to within 4 and a timeout on the court.
30-second timeout.
Boy, that was big, not only to get, obviously, the three-point play, but to do it in pretty quick fashion, too. We're still, over a minute to go. They're very much in striking distance. Going to need things to go well down the stretch, but...
Yeah, it was a big play to score that quickly and get an and one. Coach Ware's trying to fire him up in the huddle right here. He's imploring them to get on the ball and just guard your man, make it tough, and make a turnover. I don't think they really need to trap. I think they just need to get on their guy, but make sure you have weak side help, because if you're on your guy that tight, they might get by you, and then you got to be able to help. But you got to give Eagan credit on that last press breaker to shoot a 3 from the corner like that. I mean, that's his shot, but that's a shot that can win a game for you.
Yeah, they've played with pretty good poise down the stretch. Burke, now they're going to throw over. Schrepfer, will he go all the way? He will, fouled by Chavis. Wildcats are not sitting back. I think they realize that they can't afford to. And
when a team pressures you that hard, you got to attack the pressure. You got to try to get layups. It was a smart play by Eagan to do that, but what a talented play by Schrepfer to, as a sophomore, hold the best defender in the state on your back and draw a foul. I thought maybe it was a clean block, but I thought maybe he was just going to shot fake, but he just went up. I think it was a tough call right there. Eagan got nobody in the free throw lane, just trying to get back. I think that's a smart move by Coach McKenzie to just get everyone back, because Park Center can get the ball out so quick.
Schrepfer making the first. They have picked it up down the stretch at the line when they've needed them.
2-possession game now with a minute to go. Minutes a lot, especially the shot clock.
And he makes a pair. Back to a 6-point lead. Davis will let it roll up court. Goes up and under and was fouled. The offense right now seems to be pretty much Cash, go do something.
And that's what I was just going to say. Everybody knows that's going to happen, and they got 3 players on him, and he still has such great skill and technique, fakes, hesitation moves, and then strength in finishing.
And if you're Eagan right now, you really don't want to foul, but I think it's important for them to, if you do foul, don't let him get a shot up in that situation like that last one.
Right, he's had a couple of those and ones. But he's money on free throws.
Backenstead back in, and my goodness, what a second half that he has had. 15 points in the second half.
Wow. I knew he had a good half. I didn't know he had that many points. His teammates are finding him around the rim, too, and then he made a clutch 3. He's kind of been the difference for Eagan in the second half.
Free throw no good, but Gooch gets it back. Here's Chavis to the reverse, and he scores it.
1-possession game now, 3-point game, 48 seconds left.
Actually worked out better for Park Center to miss that second free throw. Oh, and we'll get a foul call on Gooch. They had the trap.
And they were going to get a 10-second count again, probably. I think Eagan maybe was going to call a timeout.
Schrepfer will shoot a pair. They've, again, been making them of late, but now when the lead gets trimmed down to 3, does the pressure get tighter?
Yeah, with no one on the line, it's sometimes a little more pressure. He's been money on his free throws. Coach Ware not happy with that last call. He definitely thought that, they had a trap and it wasn't a foul, but I think he maybe leaned into him just a bit.
And Scheffer makes a couple more clutch free throws.
Park Center's have been able to score quickly. That's one, like you said.
Chavis trying to draw a
Whoa.
foul. He hits a running 3.
Amazing shot.
2-point game.
They're going to get a 10-second count.
And Gooch will be called to the block.
Well, it's a smart play by Scheffer to just put your head down and go and try to draw a foul, because I think they're going to get the 10-second count. We had a fan throw something on the court, not happy with the officiating.
There's that last shot by Chavis. He was really looking to draw a foul more than anything.
I would say with a lot of players, that's a lucky shot, but with him, he can make all kinds of shots.
And there's a look at the last one. Ooh, close one.
He's moving, but then it's a matter of did he push off with his arm.
And Gooch was trying to, the one thing about Scheffer, he's generally handled pressure well, but he's very right-handed. He does not want to go back to his left. And if you just get it maybe one more step over, that one would have been a certain charge. It may have been anyway, but obviously they're easier said than done on some of these things. I think it's still not a bad play, though, to take that foul, even though you were hoping it was against Eagan.
Yeah, he's got to make 2 free throws again, and if he only makes 1, it's still a 1-possession game. Park Center just has to survive. That's it. For Eagan, you've been leading now for quite a bit of this end of the second half, and you're thinking, can we just hang on? Played so well in the second half, and Park Center, they're just like, we didn't play that well, but we'll take a win anyway.
It's interesting too, though. I think the Wildcats have not played with the let's just hang on mentality, and that's probably one of the reasons they're still ahead.
They've looked poised and confident the whole game. They ran their stuff, and they probably knew that they can play better than or shoot better than they played. But they broke the pressure quite a few times and got some easy buckets out of that too, and they used Park Center's pressure against them.
Scheffer, all of those free throws in the second half, 9 out of 11. Well, we had this delay to clean up the court. It's hard to say who this helps more. It kind of allows Eagan to settle down a little bit. It allows Scheffer to have to think about it for a while too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate someone would do that in the state tournament game. I've never seen that happen before.
Didn't seem to bother Alex there as he buries the first one.
He's got ice water in his veins.
This big to make it a 2-possession lead again. And he hits another. Eagan by 4. Chavis getting ahead of steam up court. He's going to go all the way and hit again. 2-point game. Scheffer working his way up. Almost stolen there. Buslee is grabbed there by Chavis.
They could call an intentional foul when you grab the jersey like that, but I don't think they will. Man, that ball almost got stolen by Gooch. I thought Gooch had it. Next thing I know, Buslee had it.
It was not a smooth up-court run there for the Wildcats. First, the dribble got away and almost went up too high there for Scheffer, and then the pass was almost stolen. Buslee at the free throw line hits.
It takes about 4 seconds for Park Center to score because they don't put up any resistance. They're afraid of fouling. Chavis will probably do the same thing, although he's not up down there. I'm surprised.
There he goes. 2 clutch free throws there.
He's just going to drive in.
Chavis is fouled.
Really haven't seen many games where one player has taken the ball to the basket like 8 consecutive times, and they can't stop him. But on the other side, Eagan just keeps answering and making free throws.
Chavis running out of room in the scorebook for the second half, he said. Whew.
Timeout by Eagan.
35 now for Cash Chavis. Timeout taken.
A smart timeout, I think, because you got to talk about boxing out on this thing. You know, making sure you just do the fundamentals if you're Eagan. And you also want to make sure that you set up your press breaker, you know, but they might miss it. And then what do you do? Let's say that Park Center gets the rebound and it's a 3-point lead. What's your strategy going to be? Are you going to foul, make them shoot free throws? But there's a good chance if he misses that Park Center does get this rebound. They're a great offensive rebounding team on free throws.
Well, and if you're Chavis, any thought to missing it on purpose? Is it to provide you any advantage, or do you rather cut it to 2?
I think cut it to 2 and just try to get a steal or foul again. But I mean, one of these times you think Eagan's going to miss playing a foul game. Their best offense is their defense. So I think if you make this and you gotta get a steal. Let's try to get this game to overtime. Here comes the Park Center pressure.
2-point game, and we will get a hold away from the ball. I think it'll be Memone. So head to the other end for free throws.
It's a tough call. I mean, they're trying to deny them where they're going. A lot of times you don't see that called, but I think it was the correct call. I think he was displacing him.
Schrepfer will go to the free throw line.
It's a 5th foul maybe? Is that what we have the delay here? I don't know why we'd have a delay otherwise. I really don't know what's happening here, why we're not putting the ball in play. Is there some kind of TV timeout?
No.
That was strange. Ice the shooter, though.
Schrepfer finally misses one. Park Center, the door is still open.
This is a huge free throw because we know what's going to happen. It's going to come down to a referee's call or a Chavis layup if it's a 2-point game. If it's a 3-point game, still might come down to a Chavis 3, but I think he'll probably look for Fultz.
Gets the second one. It's a 3-point game. Here comes Cash Chavis. They're going to call a timeout.
I'm kind of surprised they called timeout there, but he probably wants to get the ball to be one of his best shooters. Got a set play that he runs at the end for this.
And Chavis has been so dangerous attacking, but you have to just make sure you don't foul him if he were to drive the ball.
A lot of times I would foul in this situation. With Park Center, I don't think I would because there's a good chance that they're going to get the offensive rebound. It's the only way you can lose the game. Make the first, miss the second, get the offensive rebound, and make a 3.
Very interesting to see what Park Center draws up out of this.
It's hard to draw plays up. I mean, I watch a lot of basketball, college, pro, high school, and at all levels, just trying to come up with some kind of play with 6 seconds left. Usually it's some kind of, the play breaks down, somebody drives, it's a scramble situation. I mean, look at what we saw in the Osseo Maple Grove game, right? The kind of a scramble situation, the ball rolled to a guy in the corner and he made it. You know, it wasn't anything drawn up. And I think you got to get the ball to Chavis, obviously. But if you're Eagan, you got to lock onto the shooters. Who cares if he scores a 2? You just play him one-on-one and you lock up all the other shooters. So he's throwing it in, which is interesting. Maybe they're going to try to go back to him because he's a clutch player.
That'd be my guess. If Buslee gets picked off in any way, that Chavis will get it right back. Yep. Here he goes. Wanting a three from the top. And he lost it, and Eagan will pull off the upset. 73-70 Wildcats.
It's a good set play drawn up, but Eagan played good defense. Made him try to make a step back, and when he did, he slipped a little bit, and the ball came loose. And Chavis is feeling really bad. I don't blame him because he played such a great game. Tried to do everything he could to help his team win the game. Just unfortunate he couldn't get the shot off there. And it's heartbreaking to lose, especially when you had your sights set on a state championship or at least getting to the finals. But what a game by Eagan.
Boy, you know, at halftime you're thinking they did pretty well. They did a lot of what they wanted to do, but they're still down 10. They weren't satisfied with that. They came out and played a really strong second half. I thought obviously made some clutch free throws, but also were able to take advantage when they had a little opportunities to score. At times when you thought maybe they would pull it back out, they didn't.
Yeah, they made plays. They didn't just settle and try to run out clock. They were aggressive and they were poised against pressure the whole time. And that's not easy. Park Center is a great pressure defensive team.
Boy, and making that second free throw was so important there. If it was a 2-point game, you know Chavis would have attacked and probably scored in the lane. But trying to set up for a three, his foot just slipped out from under him as he was trying to gather himself to go up for a shot. And congratulations to the Wildcats as they, again, we're not just happy to be here, not just happy to give Park Center a game. They had a lot of seniors on this club, and they played very poised basketball.
They did. They played with a lot of confidence, and they were an enjoyable team to watch. I like their style, how they move the ball, share it, and they hit huge threes, too. They definitely won the three-point shooting contest in this game, which ended up being the difference.
Hockenstedt, a huge game off the bench with 15 in the second half. Burke had those 4 threes in the first, and then one big clutch one down in the corner as well. And then Trepfer, the sophomore, really coming through at the free throw line and doing a pretty good job handling the ball against that intense pressure. So the Pirates will lose for the 4th time this season. Congratulations to Eagan as they will move into the semifinal round, as we saw. That'll do it for our coverage here from Target Center as Eagan upsets Park Center. The final in this one, Wildcats 73, Pirates 70.